What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Glory Hunter season review. We have just finished season 10. We are halfway through this challenge, or the duration of this challenge. I think we've still accomplished a decent amount in this time. However, we still have plenty more to establish. And to be honest, since season 9, a lot has changed. So let's get into it and let's talk about all the things that have changed in this series. So guys, first and foremost, I just wanted to speak to you about what has changed in this series. We were the Spurs manager in season 9, and just before the end of the season, we were sacked by Daniel Levy. We'd managed to get them into the Europa League final, and we were then unfortunately sacked. So we had that summer to sort of try and figure out what we were going to do, where we were going to go. As you can see from the graphic around me, we still needed to accomplish things in England and in Spain domestically, along with the Champions League and both international tournaments, the European Championships and the World Cup. However, in that summer, we were able to somewhat rehabilitate our image. With England, we won our second consecutive Nations League title, which was great. However, no one domestically was biting on me as a manager. No one was firing their managers until, as you can tell by the graphic, until West Ham sacked their manager, interestingly enough, and we took over in January. So it didn't give us a lot of time to get ourselves under the table at West Ham. But what I will say is the season, in all actuality, was very, very good. I'm going to jump in game now and we'll take a look at what happened since we took over. So then, guys, this was West Ham's season last year. And as you can tell, a rather ropey time of things coming into it. Nice solid 1-1 draw against Liverpool on the first day of the season. Okay against Bournemouth, but then here come the losses. Lost to Burnley, lost to Norwich, lost to Brighton, lost to Bristol City in the Carabao Cup, lost to Arsenal. Losing to Arsenal is not too bad. Losing to Man City again, not too bad. Some games in here that you would expect them to do better in. Losses to Sheffield United, Leicester, Southampton, Spurs, Chelsea. There's a lot happening here, guys, and it prompted them to sack their manager. If we go on to the club overview, maybe history, managers. So who was the manager before me? I took over from Little Lee. Lee Johnson was the man in charge of West Ham, and he was sacked after a 36% win ratio. What's that? 17 games won, 8 draws, 21 losses. It's not great for Little Lee. And then we have since come over and done a pretty nice job. We found them in sort of a decent little spot in the middle of the pack. They weren't actually one of the worst teams in the Premier League, but they definitely weren't one of the best. But then we took things over, guys, and we took over for this Norwich game. That was our first game in charge of the Mighty Hammers. A 1-1 draw, nothing too severe, and Norwich took the lead at Carrow pretty early doors, and Jarrod Bowen scored from the penalty spot to make things ours. After that, though, we had a little bit of a break. We had like a week where we didn't play a fixture, which was fantastic. It just allowed me to get the team in, them in a little bit more, get them to understand my formation and what I was trying to do. And as you can see, the run we went on towards the end of the season, guys, was just nothing short of spectacular. If you look at the 3 losses we had towards the end of the season, we lost 3-1 away at Man City, we lost 2-0 away at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and their team is absolutely stacked, by the way, and we lost 1-0 away at Stamford Bridge to Chelsea, who did in actuality win the Premier League. In terms of the other games in the league, beat Brighton, beat Arsenal, beat West Brom, beat Fulham, beat Sheffield United, Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, got one over on Spurs, and then we finished the season with a nice comfortable 2-0 victory against Aston Villa at home. As I said, though, it was a very, very good run for us, and in terms of what that meant in the Premier League, guys, we go into the stages and we take a look at last season. We managed to get West Ham all the way up into 8th. Now, this is a very interesting one because, as you can see here, there's been some sort of magic that's happened. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, but there are 5 teams that are going to be inside the Champions League. So Chelsea, Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal are all inside the Champions League. which means Leeds and Bournemouth, who we were fighting out with on the last day of the season, it actually pipped us by 1 point on the final day of the season. They are in the Europa League, and we as West Ham are now into the Europa Conference League, which is going to be fantastic. But as you can see, we finish in 8th. Tottenham down there, who did sack me, all the way down in 14th. So I think we've done a fantastic job. To be perfectly honest, this West Ham team is actually better than the Tottenham team. Player for player is just so much better. In terms of transfers, and we go into the transfer history, guys, we are in the process of a pre-season right now. Some of these players that they brought in were not me. Marco Canna, great signing. This guy, also decent little signing. Grayson Wheat, this wasn't me. This Grayson has been renamed by one of my subscribers on Twitch, Balin. This is one of his 2 twins. So he has renamed one of his twins into my starting 11. Thierry Correa, again, not me. Pirani, again, not me, on loan from Fulham. Very much overpaid, too much for him. And then Theo Wheat, this is the only player that I have actually signed from Internacional. He is very solid. Didn't really do a great deal for us in terms of last season. Played 13 games, averaged it over a 7. Only the 1 goal, 1 player of the match, but it was very solid and very integral to turning this team around and getting the defence into a position where I genuinely think we could be quite good next season. He looks like a very good player, very strong on both feet, consistent performer as well. Now valued at 26 million, so I think we did quite well bringing him in. On the other side of the ball, we made 42 million. Who did we sell? I sold this guy. I've since sold this guy to Watford, so I made most of that money. But yeah, as you can see, guys, we've shifted a lot of players on. There's not really any West Ham lads here. We're still making money. We've made some changes here. We've sold 8.75 million's worth. So all in all, guys, I think we're in a great spot. If we look at the club vision super quick, we've got 44 million in the transfer kitty, and 600k's worth of wages to spend as well. So one thing I will point out, we did have at West Ham, I didn't realise until right at the end of the season, we had a 37-year-old Mo Salah in the under-23s. So it's a very interesting scenario being at West Ham. Obviously, we're into the Europa Conference League, which is going to be interesting. But obviously, the primary function for me in this is domestically. We need to do something in the Premier League. I think the Premier League is going to be very difficult to win as West Ham manager. FA Cup, maybe. FA Cup definitely could be a competition that we can make a run in, especially in the one-off games. You never know. It depends how the run goes. But I really think we can make a run at the FA Cup. I know I shouldn't say this. I'm probably going to use West Ham as a stepping stone into one of the elite jobs when they hopefully do come up. I have noticed if we go into the staff section, Liverpool are looking for their manager, a new manager. I have applied for that, but they rejected me harshly because I like to sign players who are under 23 years of age, which didn't really match their philosophy, which is crazy. We've just had an international competition. That is a World Cup. We were there with England. I'm not going to spoil that. That will be a video next week, a little competition special. But as you can see, we've not been sacked by England. So that's all I'm going to say. We've not been sacked by England. And we've got plenty of development still to do. So this is going to be a very interesting season with West Ham. And I am looking forward to it as we are halfway through our current timeline, with still plenty left to achieve. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today, guys. If you do want to get involved on this series, head over to twitch.tv/HoodGamingUK. A link is down in the description. Give me a follow. Come over, join the streams live on a Tuesday and Thursday evening from 7 PM UK. It's a great time. Look forward to having as many of you guys there. But if you are enjoying these catch-ups, don't forget to drop a like specifically on this video down below. Subscribe if you are new around here, picking up the Glory Hunter for the very first time. And until next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you very soon.